Kun Aguero looks like he's heading to Catalonia. Is this the right call for Barca?
Well, look, you have to take everything that Barcelona do and analyse it through the context. And the context, of course, is that this is a club that doesn't have the money to pay transfer fees. So this is a club that needs to take players that are out of contract. Now, that may well limit their options. It may well that they take players that they might not otherwise, in normal circumstances, be chasing. But the way they look at it is that this is a very talented footballer. This is someone that they believe can play with Lionel Messi. And this is someone that they get for free. Now, of course, he's not entirely free because you've got to pay his wages and he won't be cheap. But you can get him in. Now, of course, the big question in all of this, and let's take it back to what we've just been talking about. One of the many reasons why Barcelona moved Luis Suarez on, apart from things like salary and trying to break down the power in the dressing room and all those kind of things, was his age. Well, Kun Aguero is 33.
Is this the right decision, Ali?
It's an inconsistent decision. Yeah. Let's say that. Because, or at the very least, is the admission of a mistake. Admitting that letting Luis Suarez walk out the door in the manner in which they did is a mistake. And so, therefore, you cannot afford to go into yet another season without a recognized number 9, a guy who can score goals. How long can Sergio Aguero do this? Well, I think if you're a Barcelona fan, you look into the last match that he played for Manchester City and you say, well, if we play Everton every week and the last match of the season, he's going to score a couple of goals for us and it will look great. That's the sort of thing that Barcelona is hanging on to. I'm not sure that long term that's the answer.
Let's talk about what happened at the weekend. It is the image that has gone viral, and rightly so, because it's so cool. Luis Suarez sat on the pitch, crying his eyes out, FaceTiming his family.
Yeah, and it tells you a lot. I think it tells you a lot about Luis Suarez's character, and perhaps a side of his character that has been hidden from people for too long, or that people haven't wanted to see for too long. But I think in footballing terms, it tells you, I think, a lot about what this league title means for him, what this season means for him, and just how significant it was that he was forced out of Barcelona and how badly he took that. Now, on one level, you look at this and you think, it does seem quite over the top in a way, because plenty of footballers, it's a difficult industry at times, have been forced out of clubs when they haven't wanted to go. But I think it tells you how much Suarez had sort of bound up in his place at Barcelona, how badly he felt that it was handled, both by his manager, but in particular by the club at the time. How he felt that he was pushed out too early when he could still produce, where he could still give them something. And he'd even said before he left, hadn't he, that he would have played on the bench. He would have been a player that came on and had minutes, but he wanted to have the chance to make that point. And I think this tells you how much that hurt. But what it also does, I think it also tells you something about the fuel that has pushed him this year in La Liga. And he talked about it this weekend, and Simeone talked about it this weekend, that part of what drove him this season was the desire to prove himself, and to use a word that he's used a lot and that Simeone's used as well, to prove that he was vigente. Basically, still worthy, still valid, still able to play at a reasonable level. And here he is, quite probably the player of the season in the Spanish league.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.